Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about fall sewing plans. Now, I know that we are in the heat of summer at the moment, but all the more reason to get excited about cooler temperatures, jeans, sweaters, what's to come. Sewing and dressing for autumn, for winter is one of my favorite things. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Rebecca, and I talk all about sewing, knitting, making a handmade wardrobe, slow fashion. So if any of that is up your alley, please do consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons below. And let's go ahead and get into my fall sewing plans. I've been really inspired recently by the Ozma Field pant. I don't know if you're familiar with the brand, but they have really classic, kind of minimal designs, and I really love this particular silhouette. And so I was sort of looking through my sewing patterns, and I think that I might be able to dupe the field pant by using the By Hand London Jackie trouser. It has a zip front and a very similar slash pocket, and I think it would be an easy alteration to kind of crop and widen the bottom of the pant a little bit. And if I used a denim, like a lightweight denim or a denim blend, I think the field pants might be a denim lyocell blend. I think the Jackie trouser pattern could easily be modified to dupe the Ozma field pant, and I'm very much drawn to it. I keep going back to it and looking at it, and so that's definitely something that I might try and tackle this fall. If you would be interested in watching a video where I try to alter a pants pattern to dupe the Ozma pants, let me know. I think that might be a fun project. Another project that I have in mind for this fall winter coming up is to sew a wool coat. Now, I think earlier in the year or last year even, I purchased the Vicky Sews, I think it's the Bernard coat. I'll put a picture here. It's a men's coat pattern, and I purchased the pattern, I purchased a navy blue wool and a lining fabric for it, and I got so far as to print out all of the pattern pieces for the coat and the lining, and I assembled them and I cut them out, and they've just been hanging on my pattern rack since then. I think I got a little bit intimidated by cutting into the wool that I purchased. I think just the sheer amount of interfacing that lies ahead with making a long tailored wool coat sort of put that plan on pause, and I'm starting to feel ready to tackle it now. I have made a lined jacket before, but I've never worked with wool, and the fabric that I got it does have a small percentage of another fiber. I got it from Fashion Fabrics, and so it is a wool blend, but I'm excited by it. I'm a little bit intimidated by it, and I know that it's going to be quite a hefty process, and so I may try to vlog that as well. I don't know if you'd be interested in watching the step-by-step process of making a fully lined wool coat. If so, please let me know. But yes, I definitely want to tackle that project in the coming months. I'm drinking a very delicious spicy ginger chai latte today, and I wanted to mention that one of you actually reached out to me and told me that your friend had this really cool chai company, and Evergreen Chai very kindly sent me some of their chai products, and they're really delicious. What I'm drinking today is the instant chai latte, so you just add hot water and stir it together and it's ready to go, and it's so spicy and warm and delicious, and it puts me in the mood to think about fall, sewing plans. Evergreen Chai actually very generously sent me a discount code for you guys if you want to try some of their chai products. They're so good. It's a female-run family business and all organic ingredients. The packaging is all biodegradable. Really, really delicious chai. So if you have plans to cozy up and work on your sewing and knitting projects this fall with a nice warm drink, go ahead and check out the link in the description box below, and I'll put the discount code on the screen here too. Definitely worth checking out. So in addition to the pants and the jacket that I mentioned, I I really, really want to finish my quilt. So if you've been here for a while, you may know that I started to make a patchwork linen quilt from all of the linen scraps that I have acquired from sewing my linen garments. And I've made so much progress on the quilt top that it's a little bit silly how long it's kind of just sat behind me here on the shelf. And I have all the supplies. I have the batting that goes in the middle of the quilt. I just need to finish piecing those last few rows of squares together for the quilt top and then figure out what I'm going to do for the backing and put it all together. I think what's kind of held me up a little bit is I'm kind of torn between, do I try to quilt it on my Singer heavy duty sewing machine, or do I try and hand quilt it? I really love the look of hand quilted quilts, but I don't have any experience doing it. I'm sure that I could watch some YouTube tutorials and learn how. And I'm also a little bit concerned just with like the size of the quilt, if my sewing machine could handle it or if it would be too much to kind of get through. So if you are an experienced quilter, please do let me know what you would recommend. Should I hand quilt it? What sort of thread do you use to hand quilt things? Should I go ahead and give it a try on my sewing machine? Yeah, I really want to finish this quilt. The quilt top is almost done. I just need to push through, and yeah, that's definitely one of my goals for this fall as well. I need to finish the quilt. More tea. Something else that I would like to accomplish in the coming months is I would really like to try and do a thrift flip. I don't have something hyper specific in mind. I would love to go to the thrift store and see what I can find as far as textiles, whether it's, bedding or oversized shirts or dresses even. And I want to reuse thrifted fabrics to make a project, to make a garment. I think it would be really fun. I think it would be a challenge to try and source materials from a thrift store and repurpose them into something new. And I know that's kind of a vague sewing plan, but it seems a little bit silly that it's something that I've never done before because it's so accessible. And yeah, I want to get a little bit creative. I want to take a trip to the thrift store and see what I can find and create something new. So a little bit of a broad goal there, but I want to try at least one thrift flip this fall. I mentioned that I really want to dupe the Ozma field pants. However, I also just want to make more trousers, and I really do like the By Hand London Jackie trouser pattern. It's one that I've made before, but when I've made it in the past, I've always sized down. There's quite a bit of ease built into the waist of the garment, and I don't know if I went down one or two sizes, but I definitely went down on the size chart. And so what I'd like to do is to make the size on the chart that's recommended for me, just to have a different fit, just to have the pants kind of hit at a different point on my body. And, for the fall and winter season, I would probably want to work with a little bit of a warmer, heavier fabric than the lightweight trousers that I've made before. So I want to try and make a really nice pair, possibly wool trousers, and I want them to fit in a more oversized way. So my plan is to use the Jackie pattern again and just make the size that is recommended to me as opposed to going down on the chart. So multiple pairs of pants in the works. I've actually ordered some fabrics recently and they're not here yet. So I may do a little bit of a mini fabric haul when they arrive. I was hoping that I would be able to show you today some of the fabrics that I ordered and what my plans are for them, but that might just have to be in a different video in the future. However, I can say that in addition to making the tailored lined wool coat, I do really want to make a blazer, a wool blazer. I've tried the Friday Pattern Company Heather blazer and the I'm losing it. The Bella Loves Patterns Fran blazer before. And I really liked the Fran blazer. I had some fit issues with the Friday pattern company heather blazer, but the Fran blazer fit really well. I think that I just needed to fully make it as kind of like a rough draft to figure it out. There's a lot of hand stitching, there's a lot of in-depth tailoring techniques. I did welt pockets for the first time, and I do like the version that I made, but I made it with a canvas, kind of like a lightweight canvas, so it's really stiff, and I would like to try and make that pattern again, or possibly a different pattern with a wool fabric, and just try to get a really clean, really high level tailored finish on a wool blazer that's fully lined. So I've seen that the Modern Sewing Company on Instagram has kind of teased that they're working on a blazer pattern. I don't know if that will be out this fall, but if so, I'd probably try that one or the Fran again. If you've made a wool blazer and you have a pattern that you really, really love, please do let me know in the comments below which blazer pattern worked well for you. It's definitely something on my list for this upcoming season. I also have quite a few knitting projects in mind, and I think that's going to be its own video, a knitting plans video. I have quite a few projects that are currently in the works, and when they're all complete, I kind of want to do a roundup of all of those and also share with you what I plan to make next. So that's going to be its own separate video. I've recently been going through my handmade garments, and I pulled a few out of my closet that need a little bit of attention. And so one of my other goals for the upcoming season, when I'm spending a little bit more time inside and it's cooler, is to kind of make my way through my mending or alterations pile. I have a couple of dresses that I want to alter the fit of a little bit. I actually have one dress, and I can put a picture here, that was one of the first things that I made for myself, and I didn't know about serging to finish seams, and so the insides of that garment aren't finished well, and I have set a goal for myself to either take it apart and redo it, or try to see if I can finish those seams in a way that doesn't require having to kind of resew it. But I feel sentimentally attached to this dress because it was one of the first things that I made for myself after having my daughter, and I really love the silhouette. I love the fabric. It's a 100% linen, and it's something that I think would be really ideal for kind of early fall wearing. That's one of them. There are a couple of other garments that need a little bit of a tweak just to fit more comfortably, and so in addition to making some new items this fall, I do want to dedicate some time to making some alterations to garments that I've already made in order to make them more wearable. And one of the wonderful things about sewing your own clothing that makes it such a sustainable practice is that you can alter things if they need to be taken in or let out, if they need to be shortened, etc. So I want to go through my mending pile. I want to finish the quilt that I started. And I also want to add a couple of really well-made tailored garments. The coat, the blazer, the pants. I think I've made a lot of garments at this point, and I really want to start to slow the process down a little bit and focus on learning tailoring techniques and learning to do them really well and producing really high quality, professionally made tailored garments, such as a wool blazer. So I'm going to do some research, I'm going to watch some tutorials, and if you have any tips for getting better at working with wool or lining or just general tailoring in general, if you have any resources that you think would be good. As I said, I've kind of dabbled, I've done it before, but not super well. And yeah, I think a good sort of overarching plan for the fall this year is to mend and alter what needs mended and altered, finish the works in progress that have been put on the shelf, and also to create a couple of new things in a really intentional, slow, practiced way. So again, let me know what your plans are for fall. Let me know if you have any patterns that you are excited to make, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next one very soon. And thank you again so much to Evergreen Chai for the delicious tea. Okay,